Memorial Day weekend, the actually Memorial Day. So for some, it's a Sunday, and I've been very busy. So a couple of things that have been going on is started Friday afternoon by going and getting my hanging baskets for the hummingbird eye candy. So I got a fuchsia and I got a petunia in the red, white, and blue flavor. So they're very nice. And then I made a video on this little watering system here. So it's got a little automatic timer pump that I got set up in a bucket. Figured out how to program it, how long to run it for. I got it all set up. So I'm just waiting for Amazon to deliver the Bloom Buster plant food. So this is an old bird food for bird feeders, wild bird food, stuff like that. And then in other notes, the solar lanterns are working very well. Really pleased on the output. I even was nuts enough to buy even more. So these are version 1s. I'll be adding an extra battery to these things to give them a little bit more capacity. So these version 1s will probably be moved to the front of the house with a couple of more solar lanterns I'll be creating. So the ones that I got, it's got the more rounded globe and stuff like that. Got the hummingbird feeder itself all ready to go. And then in other news, probably seen there'll be a future video on a OOSSXXX NVR system. So that little guy got started with getting a ladder. So I got one of them little giant levelers. So now I have the whole system installed. So each corner of the house has a brand new set of cameras. So I got all 8 cameras on all 4 corners of the house. Got all new wiring coming down because the wiring was all shoddy too. And they're going to all the outlets. And you probably can see the ones sticking out over here. So I never had cameras on this very corner of the house. So that's something new. Got a new view too on the whole street. Of course, if you're perched up high, you can see better. But I pretty much got this whole scenario just like this. So there's a blue house on the left side of the house. I can see all the way up there. And of course, there's the other 2. We got that one in between the wires. So that's pretty cool. All the prunings are just about done for the year. Got the bleeding heart here that I found in a scrap pile. Grows like a weed. Got all the XM cozy lights out here. One thing I'll be doing to finish up the holiday weekend is getting a little bit bigger masonry bit and drilling them into the concrete so I don't have to trim around them. And then other news is got the irrigation all set up. So here's my little Mickey Mouse setup here. So when I built this thing, everything is on top of the ground, but the irrigation heads themselves are in ground. So that's my little Mickey Mouse setup. Got the fur gator running. Cleaned out the dryer vent this weekend also, so that's all good to go. Everything's nice and clean in there. Got a couple more wiring bits to clean up for the NVR setup. We'll go over here to the shed and we'll get some scrap paper burning, and then a couple other things that I got. Of course, I got my 1100 watt inverter running here when I need it. Got the Roy Powell battery, the lithium battery. That's pretty cool. That's hooked up to the little music maker here, and then the solar charge controller is running here. Got the wires running up through the top of the shed. They come out here, and there's a solar panel, little 50 watt jobber, just sitting on the roof. It ain't mounted, just sitting up there. And as I was saying, I got some more stuff from Amazon. So I got this little heat-resistant mat, so you can use your fire pits without leaving a burn mark in your lawn. So we're trying that out. I did some yesterday. So this is I think it's a 4-foot round circle here for my little burn pit here. You can clearly see I've been burning right away on a regular basis, so I've got a nice patina. We got some more stuff to burn, so we'll light this off. Get my finger out of the way. So while that's getting going, we'll go on we'll go inside the house, and we'll check out the NVR screen, and then another little feature I did during the weekend. So we'll head into the laboratory of wackiness. So here's the screen for the 8 channel. So I got every corner and every aspect all well covered, so you can't sneak up on me. So camera 1 here is my designated default channel, and then we got the channel 2 over here, and then channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, and then channel 6 starts over here, 7 and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I hooked up the NVR to the wires that were hanging out in the back. I opened up the case, and inside the case is it's an actual Seagate drive in there. So one of them specialty spinning rusts that is probably designed for NVRs and DVRs and stuff like that. So it should last an extra 6 months longer than a standard hard drive. And then the other little project I did. Oh, but before I go over to the other project, I did find out that this is it's actually a 10 channel. So I can put 2 more channels on the system if I choose to, which I probably will. But I don't know where I'll put the cameras. I'll figure something out someday. Got to get them from Amazon. So that's one good thing about the double O, double S, and double X system is you can get the replacement cameras and stuff like that. So I'll get a couple of cameras in case. Get a couple of extra ones just in case cameras decide to die. I can just hot swap and not worry about it. Unlike the other system, we'll go out in a little while and we'll see the pile of scrap that I created. And then the little final thing is I mounted my little Galileo thermometer here. So we got him nice and secure. So instead of me making little mounts and stuff like that, I just bought some little clear acrylic mounts for this little guy, little shelves that you can buy for little tchotchkes and stuff like that. So I got some that double stick tape on the bottom of this, so this can't be knocked sidewards and stuff like that. And then on the very top, I put another mount. I actually drilled a hole in it, so this cannot be tipped over, because if this thing breaks, you got all ethanol that you're going to have all over the place, which is going to be release its gas, which is not very healthy to breathe. So the balls are a sinking kind. So yesterday when this thing was doing its thing there, and the temperature was getting hotter and hotter in here. It was about 80 degrees in here yesterday, so it was only a couple of balls floating, so everybody else was hanging low. That's about it. So we'll go out and see the scrap pile of dysfunctional and dead cameras. So we'll go back out. Of course, I got the Unicorn running and the Internet and Phone Globe running, and that's the little controller for it. This is for show and tell. Of course, today's date here is 5/29, so it's Memorial Day. Of course, we got the channel logo, the TARDIS. So we'll go out and see the scrap pile and check out the ladder too. So that was the little giant. That's the leveler. So each in the extension ladder mode, it's got the self-leveling feet that you can adjust. So we'll get some additional trash out here, but here's the carnage of the old NVR system, of the old and the tired cameras. And what's nice about the new system, they got two antennas on there, so no more dropouts, no more stuttering, and of course these guys here, I made sure they were hand bombed to the ground, so pretty much every single lens should be cracked if I didn't throw them in the grass. And of course, a lot of these IR LEDs are completely wasted, and I can tell that they were getting tired and stuff like that, so it was time to renew it. So I'm happy with the new system here. So we'll be putting this out in the trash pile. The old fire pit is smoking away. We'll have to stoke the fire here. Of course, what's nice about the other NVR system is that it didn't have any problems jumping on the internet and keeping the time synced up and doing a firmware update, because that was one thing I could not do with the old system. Couldn't do anything with it. I mean, I couldn't get it to get online because there was no documentation, and this one just does it automatically. So it's already been through a firmware update, probably updated the cameras or whatever, and then now it can keep time and stuff like that. So that'll be good for a couple of years. Of course, in time I'll be building some more solar lanterns for the front of the house. I already got the brackets for it, and then, like I said, we'll put the version 1s on the front of the house for them, and on that little porch roof there was a little former satellite dish mount, so we'll use that and mount them other solar panels to that, so I don't have to drill any more holes for mounting them things. So I haven't gotten the lanterns yet, but they'll eventually come. They're coming from the mothership of China, so it'll be a couple of more. And then I figured out how long it takes to put about a gallon of water or a half a gallon in each pot. So it's pretty much the maximum amount timer of that little pump that can handle. So it's about 15 minutes to pump out a gallon of water. So split that between the two pots. So that's about a half a gallon. Won't get any runoff and stuff like that. Then I put my little pothouse out here to do its thing out in the tree. Of course, one thing I'll probably do tonight is I'll make a new video of the outdoor solar lanterns and path lights, because now I got I forgot I had a 35 and a 50 millimeter lens for the DSLRs, and they have a lot better aperture settings on them. So my daily driver lenses, the zoomers, they're a 10 to 55 and a 18 to 55, but they got an aperture rating of 4.5 and 3.5. So they're not very well suited for the nighttime shooting, but the fixed 35 millimeter and the fixed 50 millimeter, they got an aperture rating of a 2 and a 1.8. So when you set that iris to be fully opened, very well mimics what the eye sees at night. So I'll have to do that. Of course, with the low shutter count, I'll have to put that on the gimbal, so you don't get that weird blur effect of the slower shutter speed. So it lets more light into the sensor. So that's one good thing about this mat is anything that does spill over, it is heat proof, so it won't burn the grass. So I got the big grill out for the Memorial Day chicken barbecue. So we'll be having half a chicken, so that's half a breast and a whole leg. So that'll be for snack time. Because for me, since it's Monday, it's really a Sunday, so you kind of operate on that kind of a schedule. So you try to do as least as possible before you have to go back to the grind. And then wait for the 4th of July. I think 4th of July is on a Tuesday this year, so that it's kind of a screwed up deal. Of course, it makes some employers kind of angry because they don't know whether to give you a Friday off, Monday off, and of course the holiday itself off. So some of them complain. It's not like Memorial Day and Labor Day where it always falls on a Monday. Of course, now it's bird season, and the mourning doves that were in one of them tree crotches up there, they've already had their first brood and are out of the tree. So I hear them calling, so they'll probably have another couple of broods. And then them little guys up there, them gackles, they've already had their first brood. Of course, the starlings, they got their little ongoing committee going. Of course, we got Sir Robin. We'll see if he comes down from the branches. It's always amazing how these guys find worms. Even when you got a dense, thick lawn like I got, they manage to. Of course, in this lawn, when they find a worm, it's about the size of a hose. It's like snakes that you yank out of the yard. Some of them like to fight back. I've been out here watching robins yank them worms out of the ground, and the worm starts to curl up and slaps them right in the eyeball. They got to beat them against a rock to knock them out a little bit. Of course, really the only thing I didn't do this year was, I haven't done it in a couple of years, is get my tomato tree running. So I've had a couple of years where I'd set this thing up where you put the tomato plants and the ports and stuff like this. And this was originally one of them bagged versions. So I made it into a fixed pot and stuff like that. But the last couple of years that I did it, I've always had the tomato blight come in where the whole plant turns black and stuff like that. So kind of laid off of it for a couple of years. So I was thinking about doing it, but I said, the weather's too screwed up to try this thing. So maybe I'll try this probably next year or something like that. See what happens. It's all fully automated and stuff like that. I don't have to water it and stuff like that. It's got the built-in watering feature where you hook up your own drip irrigators, stuff like this, and I had it all set up at one time. So it would come on a couple of days. I had it hooked up to my irrigation system. So I still got bits and pieces all over the place, and that would have to be re-hooked up, but it would only take a couple of minutes. So half an hour it's gone by, so we'll finish this here, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.